Can I just tell you a quick story? This is actually a true story. I know a lot of people say it's a true story, but this is a true story, and it is huge. I'm going to tell you about the time I crop dusted Jack Nicholson. Since we're in Hollywood, I think this is appropriate. All right, what happened was, I've always been a big fan. You know, I don't know if I'm a fan of his or just terrified of him. You know, I don't know what it is. You know, but it's Jack Nicholson, and I did a small part in an Adam Sandler movie called Anger Management, and he was in the movie, and it wasn't that good. And I was sitting across the table from him on the first day, and I thought to myself, I gotta meet him. It's Jack Nicholson, you know, The Shining, all that stuff. And I finally got the nerve to go over there. I was so scared, my heart was beating, but I knew this was a great opportunity to meet him. And I saw my window, and I went over there, and I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, "Hey, Jack." I said, "You been golfing over at Sherwood Country Club lately?" And he looked at me, and he goes, "What?" And now I'm really scared. You know, my mouth is all dry, you know. I said, "Have you been golfing over at Sherwood Country Club lately?" He goes, "Not since the last time you asked me that question." I didn't know what he meant by that. Did I ask him this like a year ago and I forgot? You know, was that my standard question to ask the big celebrities? Or is he just talking about when I just asked him? He's been a wise guy, like, you know. And I thought about that for like a year after that. I was trying to figure out, what did he mean by that? What did he mean by that? And then I saw him like a year later at some big Hollywood party. I never go to those things, but this was like the Hollywood Wax Museum. Everybody was there. Christopher Walken, Harrison Ford, George Lucas, Princess Leia was there, Al Pacino, and I saw Jack Nicholson in the middle of the room. I thought, oh my God, this is my chance to redeem myself. And I was waiting for the right time to go over there, because he's always talking to somebody. Everybody wants to talk to Jack Nicholson. So I waited, and I waited for the right window. I would be a good assassin, because I know when to wait, you know, when to go. And finally, I saw my window, and I went over there. My heart again, I'm scared, and I'm passing, walking. I don't care about him. Ford, I don't care. Leia, I don't care. And I get over to Jack Nicholson. I tap him on the shoulder, and he turns around. And I said, "Hey, Jack, you been golfing over at Sherwood?" And right then, Al Pacino tapped him on the shoulder, and he totally turned his back to me like that. He snubbed me. Jack Nicholson snubbed me, and he started talking to Pacino, and I was just staring at his back. It looked like I was waiting in line to talk to Al Pacino, but I didn't care about him. Anyway, I must have had something to eat that day that didn't agree with me, and I crop dusted Jack Nicholson up and down his back, and I think Al Pacino caught some of the fallout from it. And I got out of there because I knew it was going to be bad. And I went past Walken. I don't care, Leia. I don't care. Back to my starting point by the wall, and I knew it was going to be bad. I felt like I just committed a big crime, and they're going to find out in a second. And sure enough, Jack Nicholson stops talking in the middle of the conversation. He goes, "Jesus Christ, what the hell died in here?" So not only did I meet Jack Nicholson, I got inside of him. Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here. Thank you very much. I got a call from, this is the craziest thing. I got a call from Playboy magazine a couple months ago. They asked if I would review 3 adult videos and write up a little blurb for the magazine. And I kind of felt dirty doing it and awkward, but my friends convinced me it was the right thing to do. So here's what I thought of it. Okay, they sent me 3 videos. Here's what I thought of the videos. The first one was called Wanda Whips Wall Street. And this is starring Jessica Jameson. Very attractive, found myself interested right away. And then I got more interested, very interested, then suddenly no interest at all. The second video was called, I think, Bimbo Rage, and this is starring Kirsten Price. Good story, very good story, good production value. Interested right away. And then I got more interested, very interested, then suddenly nothing. No interest. I left the video running. I went into the kitchen. I made myself a sandwich. I had a Diet Coke, some potato chips. I was out there for, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 minutes. Came back in the living room. The video was still running. Found myself interested again. Interested, more interested, very interested, then suddenly nothing. No interest whatsoever. All right, the last video, I'm afraid to say, was called Heavy Into Jeff. This is an all-male film. And, you know, I got to be honest with you, I was not looking forward to watching this one. I was very skeptical. Skeptical, more skeptical, very skeptical, somewhat interested, interested, more interested, very interested, then suddenly no interest at all. Then ashamed, depressed, suicidal, despondent, dejected, rejected, sad, alone, confused, blameful, sad, someone interested, Yeah, I mean, everything seems like a lot of work to me now. I don't know if I'm at that. You at that stage yet where you want to do something? And think, like I wanted to go to the movies today, and I thought, I didn't have to go there. You know what I mean? I haven't skied like in 3 years because it seems like a lot of work. And I used to ski all the time. I really did. I remember the first time I ever went skiing. I didn't know anything about it. You know, I didn't know that they labeled the trails for difficulty, like black diamonds. You know what I mean? And the blues and the greens. And I pulled into this convenience store in the middle of Colorado, and I said to the guy behind the counter, I said, "Hey, what's the best mountain to go skiing at around here?" And he looked at me right in the eyes. He goes, "You know what? I like Copper Mountain, but a lot of people don't like to go there because they're afraid of all the blacks." I thought, Jesus, this guy's a racist. You know? He said, "But I don't mind the blacks. I have a lot of fun with them. But they will beat you up. And they are all over the mountain. They're everywhere. And some of them not very well groomed." But he said, "If you want the good white powder, that's where you got to go." Oh, Jesus, I'm not going to Copper Mountain, that's for sure. You got to be so politically correct nowadays. I was just in, let's make it Nashville. And I was coming out of the airport, and this guy, nice guy, picked me up at the taxi cab, nice, tall, black, African-American gentleman, and said his name was Boyd. I said, "I'm sorry, what was your name?" He said, "Boyd." "Oh, Boyd." I have never pronounced a D so hard in my life when I was talking to him, because I don't want any kind of misunderstandings, you know what I mean? "Nice city you got here, Boyd." Duh. Duh. Because a friend of mine said, I don't enunciate some of my words when I speak. She says, you know, when you say huge, you don't pronounce your H's. You just go huge instead of huge. You know, and this annoyed her for some reason. I don't know why. I could see if you know when you laughed, you didn't pronounce your H's. That could be annoying. Like I get that. I just filled out a will. You got to have a will so people know what to do with you. You know, when you can't make the decision anymore. I've always been like that, though. I can't make decisions. I should have had a will when I was 2, you know. But yeah, you got to let. It's not fun. It's not fun to fill those things out because you have to answer these gruesome hypothetical questions. You know, like if you're in a bad accident, do you want to be kept on life support, or do you want somebody to pull the plug? Who do you want to pull the plug? Do you want them to pull it or push it in? Pull it out a little, put it back in. Pull it out, put it back in. You want to be put on a dimmer? What would you like to have done with yourself? Maybe you want to be cremated. What kind of lighter fluid? You want to be deep fried, charbroiled, mesquite grilled? I've decided I would like to go by cremation. That's not how I want to go. But you know, I mean, I think I should make sure that's clear on the will. Now that I think about it. And then just throw my ashes anywhere. What difference does it make, right? Who cares? You know, put me in a snow globe. You can shake me during the holidays. Oh, remember him? Oh. Yeah, I want to take more risks in life. Not crazy risks. You know, I'm not going to skydive or take a Carnival cruise. You know what I mean? I want to like try new restaurants. Those kind of risks. There's a Korean restaurant in my neighborhood. You got a minute? And I've been going by this place for the last 6 years, and I never tried it. And 2 weeks ago, I thought to myself, screw it. I'm going to try it. I'm a risk taker. And guess what? Horrible food. Those Koreans. Koreans have the horrible food. I think it's a nail salon during the day or something. I don't know. Talk about risk. You read about this guy last year. He broke the record for skydiving, free falling. He went up to the Earth's atmosphere, 24 miles, and he free fell for almost 24 miles. He had the helmet, he made the suit, he filmed himself. And this guy was going fast, too. He was going faster than the speed of sound. He broke the sound barrier, this guy. It's a good thing his parachute opened up. Otherwise, that would have been a big mess to clean up. They would have finished cleaning him up, then they would have heard, "Oh, shit!" But yeah, the will is one of those things you only do once in life. One time, and then that's it. Just get through it and done. Bingo. There's a few things like that in life, I guess, that you only do once. Tequila hangover, one time. Being fooled by a transsexual, one time. Potty train, one time, potty train. Being fooled by a transvestite. Twice. Yeah, you gotta have the will because you don't know what's gonna happen. You really don't. I used to be afraid that I would get eaten by a shark. That's how I was gonna go. I had such a fear of sharks. I was always worried when I'm in the ocean. Is that a shark? Is that a shark? And now you know what I'm afraid of? Chimpanzees. Because you're always reading about these chimpanzee attacks. And it's horrific, isn't it? I mean, they rip your face off, then they go for the crotch. I heard they go for the jaw. They rip that off so you can't bite them, and then they go for the testicles. I guess so you can't rape them. I guess I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. And it's not pretty because they're screaming. You know how they scream when they're in a fight and their teeth are showing and you're screaming, they're screaming. So when somebody comes on the scene, they don't know who started it. You know, they don't know who to side with. So now when I go swimming in the ocean, I have to watch out for sharks and chimpanzees. So you don't want to be too close to the shore where the chimp could reach in and get you, and you don't want to be too far out where the shark will get you, or worse yet, further out where the Somalian pirates can get you. It's almost not like worth going in the ocean, if you ask me. But yeah, at least with a shark, it's dignified. They pull you under, it's quiet, you're gone. Hey, where's Kevin? I think he was up at the snack bar. I think I saw him up there. Your friends don't know, it's easier for them that way. But with the chimpanzee, they come up behind you, usually on like a little tricycle with a horn, they sneak up and if that's not humiliating enough, then they get you, they rip your face off, then the crotch, and then they fling their feces at you, which could infect the cuts on the face, or your genitalless crotch area. Crystalia, give him a nice hand. Crystalia!
Sometimes you can't make her happy. It doesn't matter. If you get with that girl that loves drama, like my ex loved drama, she fed off that shit. You ever meet that girl? In LA especially, happens all the time. And you know how you can tell who that girl is? The first thing that comes out of her mouth when you meet her is this. I just want you to know, I'm just like not into all that drama. Watch the out for that person. She'll swear up and down all night, I just don't believe in all that drama. I don't subscribe to all that drama. Really? Then why the are you singing it? Because that's dramatic as Her friends were in the back. She doesn't want any drama. She doesn't want any drama. You. Where'd they even come from? Doesn't matter.
Sounds like your last relationship with like an episode of Glee. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, it was like an episode of Glee.
And you've been married several times, am I correct?
I've been married 13 or 14 times. But I'm from Utah.
Has it ever been with a German?
No.
True or false? I
False.
speak fluent German.
Oh, well, false.
Warte mal, ich kann viele Deutsch sprechen. Ich hatte gelebt in Deutschland für 4 Jahre. I speak fluent German.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am a German, you mother.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I lived in Germany.
I actually got a little bit scared, for real. Like, I was like, maybe this is my last show.
You ever dated a black girl? Asian?
Yeah.
Asian?
Uh-huh.
Me too. This is stuff you talk about when you're laying in bed. Like, separate beds. But you know what I mean?
That would be so weird if we were laying in bed together talking about this.
It's not impossible. I mean, like if we were in an accident and we're in a hospital bed.
Right. Well, they would
That
split
would
us
not be
up,
gay.
right?
Not
Get
if
the
they were
gurney
crowded.
for two.
Not if it was a chain reaction on the freeway. A lot of people are in the hospital. We had to share beds. Then that would be sensible.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be like, okay, I'll share it with Kevin Nealon.
Here's my last question for you, Mr. D'Elia. What is the sickest you've ever been?
It was a few years ago. I had food poisoning.
That's the worst.
Food poisoning is the worst thing ever. It's awful. It was the kind, too, where it was like no warning, and then all of a sudden, I would just scream vomit. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're
what
just like,
was it?
Ah! And the vomit just shoots out. No warning. You're just like, hey, pass me the ah!
What made you sick?
What made
What
me
was
sick?
the food?
I think it was a burger I ate from someplace
From
in
the
valley.
floor?
Some burger dude, it was awful, man. But you never know, because you never know what it is, because it could have been like a meal 3 meals ago.
Yeah, that's true. Here's the difference between a guy throwing up and a girl throwing up. All right, here's the guy throwing up. Here's the toilet. I go back to bed. Here's a girl throwing up. Right on the scale. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, nice. Am I right?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like a lose-win situation for a chick, I guess. It's like, I feel so sick, but I'm going to look bomb this summer.